calling this one. So we're going to understand menus and the role in web design, navigation. We're going to create custom menus in WordPress. We're going to add pages, category, and link to menus. We're going to also learn how to create what we call a drop-down menus. Then we're going to customize menu location and setting. Then we'll look at best practice for effective navigation. Now, before we go ahead and start creating menu, I need to add some pages. We only have only one page. So I'm going to add some pages so that when we start creating it, we have page. So I'm going to add about us page. I'm going to also add service page and contact page. So this is about us page. About us, publish it. Good. So I've added the about us page. So I'm not going to add anything inside the page right now, since you're already working on menu. So I'm going to add the service page again. Service page. Then the last one would be the contact page. Contact page. Contact us. Okay, good. So now we have 4 pages on our side. We have the home page, you have the service page, you have the contact page, you have the about us page. So now we're going to use them to create our menu. But before we go straight to point, first let's understand what a WordPress menu is. So menu and navigation, right? Menus are navigation structures that guide visitors through a website. Now, let me show you an example from my client's website, Distress Women. So if you look at this website, Distress Women, you will see the navigation at the top. You see, now, if you visit the website, you already know where to visit. If you want to go to the About Us page, you know that who we are now has the About Us history. What we do now talks about what they do, the events and all this. The blog too talks about the blog, the book, the journal, the contact, the donate, the bookshop. So now navigation helps user understand what the site is, what the site does, where to, whatever you're looking for, the site can easily use through the navigation to find whatever information you need from the site. And also you can also add more information about your business, like your branding, which is your logo. This one at the top now is what we call top menu. This top menu help you add extras on your page. Like now, if you look at the extras now, I was able to add her phone number, their company email, and their social media account. So these are like extras. Call them top menu, right? Call them the top menu. Okay, and if you look at this menu, there is a drop down too. All these things what we're going to learn today, how to also add a drop down menu inside the menu. And drop down always have when you have a lot of things you want to add on your menu. So imagine trying to add every information here on this one. It's not going to contain the space. So what we do now, find a way to group it. Because about us now, in about us, you can find information about the company and history. Then what we do now, you can talk about our work, events, and gallery. So that is how we're able to group this. Okay, so we're going to learn how to achieve this. So why are menus? Why do menu matters for user experience? One, it helps simplify sites. It helps simplify site navigation, ensuring that visitors can easily find content. Also, it helps reduces bounce rate by improving site structure. So by bounce rate is when someone visits your website and all of a sudden left immediately, it means that the person don't even have any interest on your site. So it increases your bounce rate. People are bouncing out of your sites. Okay. But with a navigation, they can easily find what they are looking for and they will stay longer. It also helps enhance SEO by optimizing content hierarchy, right? So just like if you look at the way I was able to use Many to help organize the content hierarchy. All right, under who we are, I can write everything that has to do with who we are under this. So if there are more information the company wants me to add on their website, I'll think of which of this menu will it work for, right? And I'll put it under the menu. And it helps for SEO because SEO too will understand the site more. So if you want the site to boost the site visibility, SEO will also understand it site. It also helps create a logical flow for users to follow. So I've already talked about this. With all this information, I can easily click here. It takes me to our work, right? Because I know I can easily find their service page under what we do. Okay, I wouldn't expect to see the service page under who we are just what they are talking about the company, right? What we do is just what their services is all about and what have you. Now, how do we create a custom menu? Now, in order to create a custom menu, again, go to our page, right? We go to appearance, right? We click menu. Click menu. So if you look at it now, there is nothing on our menu yet. Everything just open. So this is the menu structure. This is where we create our menu. Okay. So now I'm going to label the menu. Okay. So there are different forms of labeling you can use. All right. There is a primary menu. So most of it use main menu or primary menu. So main menu is usually your first menu, which is that menu that will appear at the top. So I'm going to use main menu as my name of my menu, right? Then here under menu setting, now I have to decide where the menu should appear. So if you look at display location, whichever place you select now is where the menu would appear. So if I pick primary menu, it means the menu is going to appear just as this one. This is a primary menu. Okay, I think this is the secondary menu. Am I mistaken? No, this is the secondary menu. The primary menu is the most important menu, which is this navigation, which is the primary. This is the secondary menu or top menu. All right. If I decide to pick this footer, what it means is that once I add the menu, it's going to appear at the end of the post. This is the footer. Okay. So footer has its own design differently. So when the time comes for us to design the footer menu, we design it different. So what we want to do now is to design for the home. So now I've selected primary menu and I will now click create menu. So now a menu has been created. A menu now has been created. Now the next thing I need to do is now to add those pages I created. So these are, if you look at now by your left side, you see page, post, custom link, and category. So I can add a lot of things in this menu. Now let's start with the page. I want to add the pages we created recently. So you see the home page, the about us, the contact us, and of course the service page. I've selected the number of pages I want to add. I click add to menu. So you see the pages have been added to menu. Now I can make sure that it's arranged the way I want it by moving them. Now I want the service to come after about us. So the service comes after about us, right? And if I'm okay with how everything is, I click save. Now, if I go to our home page, let me go to our home page. So this is how our home page is before we add the menu. So now let's refresh it and see the way it looks. So now you see our menu. Now added our menu, home, about us, service, and contacts. Okay, so we've added our menu on the navigation panel. Okay, we've added our menu on the navigation pane. So aside adding page, you can add any other info on your menu using what we call custom link. So this, let's say for instance, now I want to add another page that has nothing to do with this page, but I just want it to be linked to our website. Let's say for instance, I want to add a Google search on this page. What I will do is I'll copy Google URL here. let's say www.google.com, and now put the name Google and add it. So we've added it now as a menu on our page. So if I save it now, I go back to the home page. Let me refresh it. So you see the Google now is now here. If I click it now, of course, it's going to take me to Google site. So this is how we add extra, maybe outside page. It has taken me to a Google site, a Google search site. So this is how you can add other links on your menu using custom link. So this is how I added this, okay? And also, aside that, we can also add some other things. There's a category. If we want to add, if we want categories of, remember I wrote post about chocolate cake, and maybe we'll have different categories and want it to appear maybe on our blog post. So I didn't include a blog page, but let's just say, let me use this custom link as a blog page, right? As a blog. So let's say this is our blog. Let me put hash here. So I'll use this as a custom link, right? Now, what I'm going to show you now is how to add drop down menu. This drop down here, these sub menus, how you can now add it on your page, right? But I want to use category for that. Now, let's say for instance, this is our blog page. I added it, but I didn't use the real page so that I will not waste time. I just use a custom link, right? Now I want to add a category to this blog post so that instead of people going to the blog and start searching for different categories, they can just go, once they take their mouse to this blog, you'll see different categories listed under, right? They'll find the one they are looking for. So by default, usually uncategorized is usually a default that comes with the WordPress, but I'll just add the both of them. So I'm going to add these two of them. So it's going to be under the blog. So now I've added them. Now to make it to be under this blog, now I'm going to shift this inside. You see what I did now? So what I'm making it now is not a sub under blog. It's not a sub under blog. Now let's look at it. You refresh this now. So I've added a blog. You see it's now, it's not a sub under this blog. So this is how you add a sub category on your menu. Okay, so let's proceed. Yeah. Okay, I've talked about adding pages, adding categories, and adding links to your menu. All right. So of course, we've talked about organizing it. I've shown you how you can organize it. So let's say, for instance, we want this one to come under after the service. All I need to do. So because this one is not the sub, it's more like this one now. These two now are the child of this, right? So if I carry this now, it's going to move along with it. Okay, except I decide to shift it back to its original place, right? They are not separate like this. So I can move them separately. But if I want them to be under, it becomes a child of this uncategorized, and chocolate cake become a child of blog. So I can easily move them like this to wherever I want it to be. Okay, and the good thing is that it can also do sub category. By sub category, I can move this one now to be a sub category of uncategorized. So if I save it, let's look at it. Let's go to the home page and look at that. So do you notice what I've done? I've changed the location of that blog to, it's not longer at the end of the menu, right? So it should be somewhere here. And aside that, there is a sub and a sub. So let's refresh it and see what happens. So you look at it now. This is it. So the sub is now uncategorized. If I click the uncategorized, there's another sub, which is the chocolate cake. Okay, so this is how you can also create sub and to infinity and all that. So that is it for creating categories and sub. Let's look at what else again remains. Okay, I've talked about how to create drop-down menus, right? Then I've talked about the assigning menu location. So menu can be, okay, no, I'm not talking about this. Menu can be placed in different area of the site. It can be placed on the header. It can be placed on the footer. It can be placed on the sidebar. So depending on your team, you can assign a menu to one or multiple location. Now to do that, we'll go to location. Let's go to location, go down. So now I can decide to make this menu to also be part of footer menu. So if I select those two, it means the menu can be the same exactly menu can be down. So let me select it. Okay, I can make this menu to be under. If I click save, let's see if the menu will also appear under, even though that is not the design for footer menu. Okay, but just for we are testing it. So if you go under now, find the same menu down. Why is this not showing? Okay, I don't know why this is not showing, but let's see. I choose this as footer menu. Okay, or better still, what we'll do, let me create a footer menu. I don't know why it's not showing, but let me create a separate menu for footer. Then we'll do the same process. So now this main menu now is for the header. So let's click here to create another menu for footer. So this one now, label it footer menu, right? And I would the same thing. I'll just select footer as menu and click create menu. Right now, after creating menu, now let me add the same pages I added, like this one. Okay, and of course let me arrange it the way it should be. Then click save. So let me refresh this, see what happens. Menu doesn't appear. Okay, the menu is still not appearing. So what would happen now would be that widgets would be the reason why the menu is not appearing. So let's go to the footer bar section.